They are made and unmade. They are who are. No wonder the world's great monotheisms in both religious and secular guises have tried again and again to exterminate the chthonic ones. The scandals of times called the Anthropocene and the Chthulucene are the latest and most dangerous of these exterminating forces. Living with and dying with each other potently in the Chthulucene can be a fierce reply to the dictates of both Anthropos and capital. Kin is a wild category that all sorts of people do their best to domesticate. Making kin as oddkin rather than, or at least in addition to, godkin and genealogical and biogenetic family troubles important matters, like to whom one is actually responsible. Who lives and who dies and how in this kinship rather than that one? What shape is this kinship? Where and whom do its lines connect and disconnect? And so what? What must be cut and what must be tied if multi-species flourishing on Earth, including human and other than human beings in kinship, are to have a chance? An ubiquitous figure in this book is SF, science fiction, speculative fabulation, string figures, speculative feminism, science fact, so far. This reiterated list whirls and loops throughout the coming narration, braiding me and my listeners into beings and patterns at stake. Science fact and speculative fabulation need each other, and both need speculative feminism. I think of SF and string figures in a triple sense of figuring. First, promiscuously plucking out fibers in clotted and dense events and practices, I try to follow the threads where they lead in order to track them and find their tangles and patterns crucial for staying with the trouble in real and particular places and times. In that sense, SF is a method of tracing, of following a thread in the dark, in a dangerous true tale of adventure, where who lives and who dies and how might become clearer for the cultivating of multi-species justice. Second, the string figure is not the tracking, but rather the actual thing, the pattern and assembly that solicits response, the thing that is not oneself, but with which one must go on. Third, string figuring is passing on and receiving, making and unmaking, picking up threads and dropping them. SF is practice and process. It is becoming with each other in surprising relays. It is a figure for ongoingness in the Chthulucene. The book and the idea of staying with the trouble are especially impatient with two responses that I hear all too frequently to the horrors of the Anthropocene and the Chthulucene. The first is easy to describe and, I think, dismiss, namely, a comic faith in techno-fixes. Whether secular or religious, technology will somehow come to the rescue of its naughty but very clever children, or what amounts to the same thing, God will come to the rescue of his disobedient but ever hopeful children. In the face of such touching silliness about techno-fixes, or techno-apocalypses, sometimes it is hard to remember that it remains important to embrace situated technical projects and their people. They are not the enemy. They can do many important things for staying with the trouble and for making generative oddkin. The second response, harder to dismiss, is probably even more destructive. Namely, a position that the game is over. It's too late. There's no sense trying to make anything any better, or at least no sense having any active trust in each other in working and playing for a resurgent world. Some scientists I know express this kind of bitter cynicism, even as they actually work very hard to make a positive difference for both people and other critters. Some people who describe themselves as critical cultural theorists or